In this video, we will look at some of the best note-taking techniques to use in class. More specifically, we'll be looking at the different components of Cornell notes and how they can help you to be successful in class. You might be wondering, why take Cornell notes? Why take notes at all in class? Well, there are a lot of benefits that we're going to go over in just a second. Cornell notes will help improve your organization in class so that you can find what you need to study when you need it. It'll help you to understand the material more thoroughly and completely. It'll also help you to speak about the things that you're learning so that you can actively participate in classroom discussions. There are 6 basic components to Cornell notes. First, your name, period, and date. Second, the subject and topic that you're studying. Third, the essential question. Fourth, the notes. Fifth, the questions that you create. Sixth, the summary that you write. We'll go over each of these components in detail. Now let's take a look at the actual layout of the Cornell notes. You might be given a printed sheet for your notes like the one shown here. If not, that's fine. You can use plain old notebook paper. You'll draw 2 horizontal lines and 1 vertical line in order to have the basic layout for your note. We'll start at the top taking a look at the name, class, and date. Here's an example where I've also added my topic and objective. This part might seem insignificant to you, but it's important in keeping your notes organized so that you can find them in the future. The next section that we'll look at is the essential question. This is important because this is the big question that we're trying to answer with our learning that day. You'll always be given your essential question at the beginning of the period. Your essential question is vital and important. You may not be able to answer it in just 1 or 2 classes. However, you should refer back to it as you add to your notes. Here's an example. Now that we have our essential question, we're ready to start writing our notes and creating questions of our own. In the notes and questions section is where the majority of your writing will take place. These 2 sections can be used as an excellent study tool, which I'll explain a little later in the video. Here's an example of my notes from Romeo and Juliet, Act 2, Scene 2. Notice that I wrote incomplete sentences so that you could understand. However, in your own notes, you'll want to abbreviate things so that you can fit more information on the page. Notes should not be in one long block. Instead, chunk notes so that each big idea is written in a new paragraph. Skip a line in between each new chunk. Once again, this will help you find information easily, and it'll also help you to organize your ideas. You'll have a lot of information written down in your notes. That's why annotating your notes can be really useful. You'll highlight important ideas and concepts, circle keywords, star test items, and put a question mark next to details that don't make sense to you. Alright, now that we're done with our notes section, we can move on to the questions. For each chunk in my notes, I'm going to write a corresponding question in the left margin. These questions that you'll be writing in the left margin of your notes will not be given to you. Instead, you will be creating them. The question should be level 2 or higher, requiring deeper thinking rather than simple recall. We'll go over types of higher thinking questions in just a second. We've completed the notes and questions sections of our Cornell notes, and this is what the finished product looks like. Notice that I have 3 chunks or paragraphs in my notes section, and then in the left margin I've created 3 questions, 1 to go with each paragraph. Because my notes are so well organized, I can easily go back to that place where I had a question and ask the teacher to clarify. I can also go back and study things that I know are going to be on the test, and I can look at key concepts that I've highlighted when we revisit these topics in class.
Created using Powtoon.